How to overcome fear, anxiety, and worry. 6 Stoic Lessons. The philosophy of Stoicism, which originated in ancient Greece and spread widely in Rome, offers many tools for dealing with the fears and worries we experience in everyday life. The founders of this movement, such as Zeno of Citium, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of inner calm, rational analysis, and control over our emotions. Fear is a natural human emotion that each of us experiences in one situation or another. However, the Stoics argued that fear arises not so much from an actual threat, but from our perception and interpretation of events. For example, we may fear financial loss or social condemnation, but these feelings are often rooted in our subjective perception of the situation, and not in the reality itself. The Stoics believed that fear can be exacerbated when we attach too much importance to external factors that are beyond our control. Understanding this fact allows us to see that almost all of our fears are related to how we perceive the world, which helps us in further work with them. For example, the fear of being judged by others can be processed into the realization that the opinions of others are just their interpretation of us, and not the true value or essence of our personality. Thus, when we begin to work on our internal attitudes and change our perceptions, fears begin to lose their power. Today we will look at 6 Stoic lessons that allow us to cope with manifestations of excessive anxiety in our lives, which will certainly lead to inner harmony and external effectiveness. Learning from the Stoics not only how to transform our phobias and fears, but also how to correctly perceive their role in our lives, we come to the understanding that fear is not only a normal part of human existence, but also an opportunity for personal growth if we perceive it through the prism of Stoic wisdom. Let's get started. Lesson 1: Distinguishing between the controllable and the uncontrollable. Distinguishing between the controllable and the uncontrollable is a key concept in Stoic philosophy, which promotes the idea that success and inner peace depend on the ability to distinguish between what we can change and what we cannot control. This approach to life helps to develop a more resilient and independent attitude toward fear and anxiety. The Stoics emphasized that many factors in our lives are beyond our control: the weather, the actions of others, economic conditions, the opinions of others, and even our own emotions in times of great stress. However, despite this, we can always control our thoughts, choices, reactions, and actions. Learning to focus on our inner world helps create the foundation upon which we can build a strong sense of confidence. When we are faced with a situation that causes fear or anxiety, it is important to ask ourselves, how much of this is up to me? This simple yet powerful question helps us identify what role we play in the situation. For example, if you are afraid of failure at work, ask yourself what you can do to improve the situation. Perhaps you should prepare better, ask your colleagues for help, or rethink your goals. These are all controllable actions. At the same time, things like what your coworkers think of you or how your boss reacts to your efforts are beyond your control and should not become a source of concern. The distinction between controllable and uncontrollable teaches us to accept reality as it is and to focus on what really matters. It helps reduce stress and develop inner peace, allowing us to act more rationally and not succumb to panic reactions. It is worth remembering, then, that true strength comes from accepting what cannot be changed and acting within the limits of what is available to us. Resilience in difficult situations comes not from trying to control everything around us, but from the wisdom of choosing what really matters in our unique experience. Lesson 2: Applying the practice of negative visualization. The practice of negative visualization, also known as the negative imagery process or meditation on loss, is one of the key techniques of Stoic philosophy. This method is aimed at helping people better cope with life's challenges, build resilience, and develop a deep understanding of the nature of happiness and suffering. The essence of the practice is that the main focus is on negative visualization, mentally imagining the worst-case scenarios that can happen in life, whether it be the loss of loved ones, a breakup, financial difficulties, or physical illness. This process involves creating vivid and detailed images of what could go wrong. The goal is not to experience fear or anxiety, but to realize that life is full of unpredictable and sometimes difficult events. This practice will gently prepare us for possible difficulties. Through this mental exercise, we can live the worst-case scenarios and understand how we will cope with them. You can imagine losing your job and, instead of panicking, you start to think about your skills and abilities that will allow you to find a new job. This sense of preparation helps to reduce anxiety, as we realize that we have resources that can help us cope with any problems. By practicing negative visualization, we reduce the sticky emotional baggage of fear and redirect our focus to real actions. Fear is often rooted in ignorance and uncertainty. When we imagine the worst possible outcome, we essentially expose the fear, disarm it. As a result, even if the negative outcome does occur, we will already be prepared for it, either psychologically or in practical actions. We can calmly accept difficulties, knowing that we can cope with them. Also, practicing negative visualization helps us appreciate what we have. The realization that everything we consider stable and guaranteed can be lost inspires gratitude for the current circumstances of life. This does not mean we should be pessimistic, rather, it is a way to learn to appreciate every moment and to treat things with an understanding of their fragility. The practice of negative visualization is a powerful tool that helps us cope with life's challenges, strengthens our psychological resilience, and promotes a deeper understanding of the value of what we have. This practical application of Stoic philosophical principles allows us to approach life with a more mature and sober outlook. If you found this content useful, please feel free to share it with your friends and family. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting and educational videos in the future. Lesson 3. Acceptance of death and finitude. Acceptance of death and finitude is a fundamental idea in Stoicism, with deep roots in the philosophy of ancient Greek and Roman thinkers. The concept of amor fati, or love of fate, emphasizes the importance of accepting everything that happens in our lives, including suffering, loss, and, of course, our own mortality. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the realization that life is finite. We cannot control the time allotted to us on this earth, but we can control how we spend that time. Acceptance of the finiteness of life helps a person focus on the present moment, imbuing it with value. This awareness of mortality gives each moment meaning and promotes a deeper engagement with the world around us. The Stoics argued that fear of death and the unknown often creates anxiety and paralyzes people. When we realize that everything is temporary, including our victories and defeats, we can reduce the level of fear of failure and disappointment. This frees us from the need to avoid risks or make decisions out of fear, allowing us to act more freely and consciously. On the other hand, accepting death as a natural part of life automatically cultivates a sense of humility in us. We realize that we are all temporary beings in the greater flow of life. This realization changes our perspective on interactions with other people. We begin to value relationships and moments of happiness more, because they are also finite. We learn to forgive and not hold grudges, because each of us has our own path, filled with both positive and negative. Here are some examples of how to use the principle of amor fati in everyday life. Let's say a person is faced with the loss of a close relative. It is important to understand that death is a natural part of life. The Stoics advise us not to dwell on the bitterness of loss, but instead to appreciate the moments we spent together. Treating death as an inevitable event can help people accept their grief and find meaning in the fact that they have the opportunity to celebrate the memory of the deceased. Or consider a person who fears failure, who continually puts off important actions like changing jobs or declaring their love. Accepting the finiteness of life can help this person understand that fear of failure is meaningless, because both success and failure are temporary states. What matters most is taking action and doing what is dear to us. Thus, loving one's destiny is not just a philosophical abstraction, it becomes a practical guide to living. The rehearsal of death that the Stoics spoke of helps us not only prepare for the inevitable, but also better appreciate every second of our journey. Lesson 4. Cultivating virtues. In Stoic philosophy, virtues are seen as fundamental qualities necessary for achieving inner peace and true happiness. Virtues are moral principles that help a person live a life in accordance with nature and reason. The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, each of which plays an important role in our lives. Wisdom is the ability to distinguish between good and bad, as well as an understanding of what is in our control and what is beyond our control. Wise people make more balanced and thoughtful decisions, which helps them avoid unnecessary fear and anxiety. For example, realizing that we cannot control external circumstances allows us to focus on what we can change, our reactions and attitudes to what is happening. Courage is not only physical fortitude, but also the ability to endure difficulties and trials with fortitude. Courage helps us face fears, whether it is anxiety before a public speech or the fear of loss. It teaches us to take risks and endure pain, which leads to a stronger spirit and improved self-confidence. Justice is the ability to treat others with honesty and kindness, observing moral and ethical standards. It involves caring for others and striving for the common good, as well as a willingness to defend one's beliefs. Justice helps to create a harmonious society where people trust each other and can cooperate. Temperance is a balance between extremes, where we learn to control our desires and passions. Temperance helps us avoid excesses and provide stability in life. For example, moderation in food, drink, and pleasures allows us to maintain health and clarity of mind, which in turn contributes to better decision-making. Each of these virtues is interconnected and supports the others. They work together to shape a character who is able to face any challenge. Developing virtues requires constant practice and self-reflection. It is a process that takes time and effort, but over time it can lead to deep inner peace and resilience even in the face of the most serious challenges. Lesson 5. Self-reflection and meditation. Self-reflection and meditation are powerful tools that psychology and philosophy, particularly Stoicism, offer for achieving personal growth and peace of mind. Self-reflection is the process of becoming aware of and analyzing your emotions, thoughts, and actions. The Stoics emphasize the importance of understanding yourself and your reactions to external events. As a tool for self-reflection, start keeping a journal. By keeping a journal, you can record your experiences, thoughts, and feelings on paper, which allows you to see your internal conflicts and fears more clearly. Keeping a journal not only helps you understand your emotions, but also helps you normalize them. As you write, you can ask yourself questions like, what scares me? Why do I react this way to certain events? Or, how can I change this reaction? A structured approach to self-reflection allows you to analyze your experiences more deeply and find useful insights on how to change your life for the better. Meditation, like self-reflection, helps develop inner calm and focus. Regular meditation helps to calm the mind and focus on the present moment. This leads to a better understanding of your reactions and desires. Through meditation, you can learn to notice your thoughts and emotions without becoming attached to them. This creates mindfulness, which plays a key role in how we cope with stress and emotional reactions. Through meditation, you can develop the habit of not reacting automatically to stressful situations, but instead pausing, analyzing your feelings and choosing more reasonable, stoic vigils. How to put this lesson into practice? To begin applying self-reflection and meditation in your life, you can follow a few simple steps. 1. Set aside time to journal. This can be 10 to 15 minutes a day. Write about what is bothering you, tell yourself about your feelings, goals and fears. 2. Regular meditation. Start with a small practice of 5 to 10 minutes a day. Use various techniques, such as breathing meditation, to focus on the present moment. 3. Review your notes. Once a week or month, review your notes and meditations to see how you are progressing and developing your own understanding. Thus, self-reflection and meditation are complementary practices that promote deeper awareness and emotional intelligence. They help us face our inner fears and problems, and teach us to accept the world as it is. Lesson 6: Community and Support. Community and support are key to overcoming fear and other emotional difficulties. The Stoics, ancient philosophers, understood that humans are social creatures, and interactions with others are an important aspect of life. Support from loved ones, friends, or like-minded people can greatly ease emotional burdens, as well as provide valuable new perspectives and ideas. When we share experiences with people who are facing similar challenges, we find comfort in the knowledge that we are not alone in our fears and worries. This sense of community can relieve feelings of isolation and ease internal struggles. In addition, such interactions allow us to better understand our own feelings and conflicts, because others can provide perspectives that help us see alternative ways to resolve the situation. Communities can also serve as a source of motivation and inspiration. People in support groups or topic-based communities can share stories of their achievements, praise each other for their progress, and provide moral support when needed. This creates a positive cycle. Confidence grows, which in turn helps us overcome our fears. Connecting with like-minded people also allows us to more effectively find solutions to the problems we face. Others can offer techniques and strategies that have worked for them, and we can adapt these ideas to our needs. By creating our own small communities, we can create a safe space to discuss and experiment with different approaches. In this way, community is not just a group of people, but a powerful resource for personal growth and transformation. Genuine support from those who understand and share our experiences can be the push we need to overcome the fears and stresses we face in life. So, Stoic philosophy offers many practical ways to deal with fear and anxiety in everyday life. However, it must be acknowledged that the path to resilience is not always easy. Challenges will arise, and at times fear may seem overwhelming. However, resilience based on Stoic principles provides us with important tools to deal with these challenges. It is the ability to detach ourselves from our emotions, analyze the situation, and take action that leads to self-improvement. Based on Stoic principles, we can perceive these challenges as opportunities for growth and development. Using the tools of self-reflection, negative visualization, and virtues, we can ensure inner peace and harmony, regardless of external circumstances. Therefore, Stoic philosophy does not simply offer theoretical ideas, but also practical, applicable ways to deal with phobias and worries in everyday life, leading us step by step to inner peace and resilience. If you've made it this far, please share your personal experiences overcoming fears and phobias in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to receive more valuable content. Share this video with anyone who might find it helpful, and to continue improving your life, check out this recommended video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.